Hi Tubies, here's Alexandra, and well, I haven't played Magic the Gathering in a while, and well, my local shop has recently rescheduled their playtime from Thursday to Saturday, and now, well, it's for me the perfect time for re-jump into the game, and well, at the next Saturday play day, they play a standard deck tournament, and well, since I haven't played in a while, I had to build a new standard deck, and well, the only standard legal cards I had in my possession are some cards from Theros, and so I created a nice little deck. Well, this is not a super tournament powerhouse deck. This is just something forged together that from cards that I had laying around here. But I hope I can, well, at least win one or two games with it and have a little bit of fun. So, what do we have here? First, the mana base, plain 20 islands, simple, very standardy, and well, you guessed right, it is a blue deck, and we start with Thassa, God of the Sea, and we have two of those in this deck. For those of you that don't know what she does, she is for 3 mana, a 5/5 creature, but she is an enchantment, and as long as my devotion to blue is not 5 or more, this is just an enchantment and not a creature. My devotion is determined by the amount of blue mana symbols I have in play right now. So she will give 1 blue devotion, and I have to have 4 more devotion of blue to make her a creature. But nevertheless, when she hits the board, she is indestructible, and I can scry each turn, and for 1 colorless and a blue can I make 1 creature unblockable. So even if this is not a creature, this is absolutely a powerhouse, and I love this. Unfortunately, she is a legendary, so I have 3 of those, but well, this increases the chance that I have 2 or more of those in hand, and you can only play 1, so 2 is a good number for her. So then we have here the Bident of Thassa. For 4 mana, you get an artifact, and whenever creatures of mine do combat damage to a player, I can draw a card. And for 1 colorless and blue and tapping, can I force creatures my opponent controls to attack. So it's a little bit taunting, so I can lure him in. Next we have the Triton Coast, I don't know the English name. A lot of these cards are German, so please be gentle with me here. It's a Merfolk, 1/1 for 1, and he is unblockable. I have 2 of those. Then we have the Omen Speaker for 2 mana. You get a 1/3, and when it enters the battlefield, I can scry 2. I have 2 of those. Nimbus Nayad. For 3 mana, we get a 2/2 with Bestow, flying, and +2/+2. If I bestow it on a creature, I can play it as a enchantment instead of playing it as a creature for its bestow costs. So then we have the Nyxbone Triton. He is a 2/3 for 3 mana, also a bestow creature with +2/+3 if he is casted as an enchantment. So then we have for 3 mana a Siren, a 1/3 flying, heroic. Every time she is hit by a spell, she gets +1/+1. Then we have Thassa's Emissary, I think it's the name. For 4 mana, we get a 3/3, and he's also a bestow. For 6 mana, the enchanted creature gets +3/+3 if I bestow him, and every time he makes combat damage to a player, I can draw a card. I have one of those. Then we have another Siren for a 3/2 creature for 4 mana with flash and flying. Quite nice. I have 2 of those. Then we have another Siren. For 5 mana, I get a 1/1 creature. So normally this is not a good payoff, but she's flying. Tribute 3. That means if it comes into play, my opponent can decide to pay the tribute cost 3. That means she gets 3 +1/+1 counters on it, so it would be then a 4/4. If he does not, then I get the control of a creature of my choice. So if he has a big bomb out there, I can simply lure it into my service with it. So then we have a little bomb here for 5 mana. We get a 5/5 creature. It cannot attack unless the opponent controls an island, but for 7 mana I can make it monstrous, 3 +1/+1 counters on it, and when it is getting monstrous I can make one of his lands an island, and so it can attack then. Then we have here the Benthic Giant for 6 mana, a 4/5 creature with hexproof. So this should create some problems on the opponent. I have 2 of those. They are pretty nasty to get rid of. They are big enough to survive any lightning bolts and fireballs that the opponent could throw at him. He is unlikely to be bounced from blues or killed by black stuff just because of hexproof. So he is quite a tough creature to get rid of. So then we have, I really don't know the English name for that. For 6 mana we get a 3/2 creature which says all my creatures are flying, but more important, the creatures of my opponent lose flying and can't get flying unless this creature is destroyed. So this is very powerful to reduce the evasion capabilities of my opponent. So quite a nice thing. So now we come to the big bombs here in this deck. For 6 mana we get a Shipwreck Kraken for 6/6, and for 8 mana we can make it monstrous 4, so make it a 10/10 creature, and if it gets monstrous I can tap up to 4 enemy creatures and they do not untap as long as I have this Kraken. So this is a really big powerhouse, and in the past this creature has won me several games, so I'm really glad I have that, and I am really glad I have not 1, not 2, but 3 of those. So 2 from a pre-release and 1 normal, so they are quite nice. Now we come to some combat tricks. Here a simple liquid form for 1 blue mana, the creature can't be blocked. We have 2 of those. Then we have a very high volume card, Triton Tactics, for 1 blue mana. It makes up to 2 target creatures each get +0/+3 until end of turn. Untap those creatures. At this turn's next end of combat step, tap each creature that was blocked by one of those creatures this turn, and it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. So this is a pretty nasty combat trick. So if my opponent thinks, oh, I have no blockers, I swing with everything I have, I can untap my guys, block them, and his guys will be stuck for a turn, and for just 1 mana, that's a very good volume. So then we have something nice. I would like to have more of these a Quell of Fortune, I think. For 2 mana we get a enchantment, and for another 2 mana I can sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. So basically for 4 mana 2 cards. It's a little bit expensive, but hey, I can play that, and if I need it really badly, then I can create that and use it. So then we have Crypsis. 1 creature that I control get protection from creatures my opponent controls until end of turn, and I can untap it for just 2 mana. It's a nice combat trick. A little bit goes in hand with Trident Tactics with the untapping. It's an instant. It's nice. So then we have 2 times the Ordeal of Thassa. For 2 mana, it's an enchantment. It gets my creature +1/+1 as a counter each time it attacks. And when it has 3 or more +1/+1 counters, I sacrifice it and draw 2 cards. Nice thing to get the tempo of the board a little bit more in. And then typical for blue, I have some counters here. For 1 mana, annul, counter target artifact or enchantment spell. I have 2 of those. Then I have nullify for 2 mana, neutralize a creature or aura spell of your choice. Then I have Spell Rapture for 2 mana, counter target spell unless its controller pays X, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control, so this could be quite high. It's a good counter. Then we have for 2 mana the Stimut Hopes, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1, scry 1. This is good for the early game when the enemy is, has low amount of lands out there, and he's always tapping completely out when he tries to cast a spell. Then this is good. Or in the late game when he tries to play his bomb, and yeah, he's exactly the amount of 9 mana he needs. He taps everything and bam, and then you can make boom. You can pay 1 more. No, you can't. Oh, it's done. It's a really nice trick. And then simple it's like Chancel, I don't know the English name, for 3 mana, neutralize a spell, whatever it is, and then I get a scry 1. So this is also a nice counter. And that wraps up my deck. This is a watery Thassa deck. I hope you like this, and well, we see us in the next video. You're Alexandra.